people tend to, in these study groups that the magazine cites, there were fewer instances of disease and disability in these studies of many, many people. And they tend to live longer. And not just tend. In this one study they did with a group of nuns, they found that the most content ones lived 7 to 10 years longer than the other ones. Wow. Talk about a life extension plan, just appreciating what we've got and being content where we are as we continue to grow. That's a significant result. 7 to 10 years longer life as a result. Contentment also improves our emotional and mental health, because it helps eliminate jealousy and envy. Those are very detrimental emotions. They can have harm on the outside, but they sure tear us up on the inside too. It reduces resentment. We don't resent what other people are. We're like, hey, good for you. Good for you. I'm happy with what I've got right here. Maybe we can enjoy things and share them together. And, and I'm growing and maybe I'll be there one day, but if not, I'm happy right here. It also combats the fear of not having enough. That's a big fear. Hey, I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough. Afraid I'm not going to have enough. The more stuff you've got, the more stuff you need that you're trying to maintain, the more it costs to do it, the more potential for fear you've got that you're not going to have enough to maintain everything. Next, it enhances the enjoyment of that which is had. Contentment enhances our enjoyment because we appreciate things so much. We don't take people for granted. We don't take things for granted. And we're so glad we have them. And that enhances our enjoyment. It also stimulates creativity and interaction. A content person goes, okay, I might not be able to go buy this stuff, but hey, let's see what we can do with this stuff. Let's see how we can have a good time. Let's see what games we can have fun with. Let's see how we can interact. Let's see what new idea we can come up with to benefit other people and work together as a team to do that. It stimulates creativity and interaction. And contentment also helps find new ways to value what is already had, to see, hey, maybe there's something we've got that we can create a new enterprise out of. Sometimes I'll go to little towns and villages and they weren't much, but people saw the value there and they actually turned it into a trademark. So maybe there's something right around us that can become one of those things that when we really see the value in it and enhance it and magnify that value and then show it to other people, they're like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'd like to come and visit your town. I'd like to visit your studio. I'd like to see what you've got. So it actually helps us find new ways to value what we have and to magnify the good of the present situation. Another thing that's a big one is contentment also reduces debt for non-essential things. Debt can just be a monster, as many of us have experienced. And contentment, when you're content with what you've got, you're less likely to pop out that credit card for that next thing that you want. Contentment reduces debt. And everybody knows that the borrower is the servant of the lender, and it's not good to be in servitude because it reduces your ability to act as a free person. So contentment helps with that also, and that, again, is going to improve our happiness and our contentment level in life. So thank you so much for tuning in to me today. I hope that this is resonating, this topic of contentment, as much with you as it has been with me and some others, the folks who requested it. We're going to take just a short break, and then we're going to be back in just a minute for a few applications of today's message.
Jeff will be back shortly to wrap up today's message. This is Gabriela, still on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. If you've missed any part of today's message, you can hear it again online, as well as the entire archive of Empowered Living at www.talknetworkradio.com or search keyword #EmpoweredLiving. We would like to acknowledge our music partners, Sound Ideas for Corporate to the Max, and Kevin MacLeod for Airport Lounge. Any scriptures read during this broadcast are from the New American Standard Version of the Holy Bible. If you would like to learn more about Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, visit www.jeffbyrdcoaching.com. That is JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Do a Facebook search for @CoachingRocks or drop Jeff a line at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Again, JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Let Jeff's coaching rocks be the building blocks of your empowered success. Now, let's go back to Jeff for the rest of today's message.
And welcome back. This is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and you are listening to Empowered Living. Now, the topic of today's broadcast has been the tremendous power of contentment. And I'd like to give you, in conclusion, 7 applications of how we can apply contentment to our life for great good. As we started out, the Apostle Paul said that godliness with contentment is great gain, and we all want great gain. So godliness simply means having a heart like God's, which is always desiring to build up, to add value, to help others. And when we couple that desire with just being content with where we are, even while we're in the midst of growth, that's great gain. So 7 applications for you. Number 1, this is like the kids crossing the street back in the day. Stop, look, and listen. We can remember that. We all got told that. Stop, look, and listen before you cross the street. But we want to stop, look, and listen to the good that's already around us, to the good that's already around us, to the good that we already have, to look back and see where we've come from and where we are now, and to be appreciative and grateful for the things we have. Number 2 is list others with whom we could deepen relationships. Some of the most good comes out of deepening relationships with other people. So instead of just trying to gain, let's look at the people around us and see, hey, who could we stop? Who could we have a coffee or a lunch with? Who do we need to catch up with? Who do we need to call? And deepen those relationships. Sometimes we never know what can come out of a relationship. John Maxwell, one of my mentors, said that the $1 million question sometimes is, who do you know that I should know? And just building those relationships sometimes adds greatly to our growth and helps us get where we want to be, even while we're being content in the meantime and just growing naturally. Number 3 is think of others who don't have what you do and find ways to help them. Doesn't have to be a big way. Doesn't have to take everything you've got. Just little ways. Sometimes it's just a word of encouragement. Sometimes you might give a little donation or come up with an idea that would help them if they could take it and run with it. But think of others who don't have what we do, because there's a whole lot of people around the world. If like Warren Buffett said, if you were born in the United States, you already won the lottery. There was only a 1 in 50 chance that you were going to be born here. And I tell you, some of the people really suffering in other areas, it's due to no fault of their own that they were born there and not here, and vice versa. Number 4 is evaluate our attitude and our motives for wanting more. Why do we want more? Is it to meet basic needs? That's legitimate. Or is it for prestige, for personal honor, for ego? Those are some not so good desires to want more, to try to, when the more is to meet our needs and to help others meet their needs, that's a good motive. When the desire rather is to try to build a sense of identity, that's not good. We want to build the identity on the inside first, so that then we can do the right things with the things that we have, the external things. Number 5 is look at the good that has already come to you and that you have done. Instead of, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, a friend of mine called me out on it recently and said, they heard me just always want more and more. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do with this? How am I going to build this? And they said, wait, just look at what you've already got. Look at where you've already come. Take a break for a minute. Man, just calm down and look and see everything that you've got, all the good that's already come, all the good that you've already been able to do. And be content with that, and don't be so wound up on the inside trying to move ahead. Even though we constantly want to grow, we don't want to be driving ourselves like with a whip. Number 6, give away what you don't need. We all have so much stuff that we just don't need that might could help somebody else. Make a donation to a thrift store. Donate it to a food. Well, probably we don't have a lot of extra food, but there are food pantries. I used to work in the restaurant industry, and we would donate the excess food to the food pantry. So that may be possible for you, or a clothing closet, at a local shelter or a church. But there's ways to get rid of the stuff that we don't need that can help other people too. And then always, number 7, focus on building ourselves and others first. Always, in the midst of any situation, even if we can't change our circumstances, we can constantly be building ourselves, developing ourselves on the inside, building better character, building better thinking, helping others build better thinking, learning from others who were ahead of us, who have been through the seasons where we are and have learned from it and have gained good insight. We can learn their wisdom. So that's 7 applications. Stop, look, and listen. List others with whom we could deepen relationships, and then reach out to them. Think of others who don't have what you do and find ways to help. Evaluate attitudes and motives for wanting more. Look at the good that's already come and the good we've been able to do. Give away what you don't need and focus on building yourself and others. So thank you so much. I very much appreciate you tuning in and spending this time with me. This contentment is such a major issue. It contributes to so much in our lives that maybe we often don't even think about. But I hope that this time we've spent together today will help you think about it and give you a couple of takeaways that could really make a difference, that could help you slow down and enjoy what you've got and where you are and the people around you, and maybe come up with some new ideas on how to grow yourself or to help other people around you grow. So again, this is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and this is Empowered Living. God bless you.